that is the biggest obstacle that I'm facing, because as you guys can see, if you ever purchased a pair of sneakers, you've seen them, you felt them. I even get people that call me and it's like, girl, your pictures doesn't know justice. Like when I got my shoes, I was just like floored. Like, this is so nice. Like, wow, how did you do? You know, they have all these questions because they're surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting that. They're even like, I can smell the new leather smell. The way it feels is just, it's such a high quality product. And they were like, I had no idea because your pictures really don't capture that. You know what I mean? And that comes from not having the funding to be able to do things that are a little bit more on the expensive end that a lot of lifestyle and premium brands have access to from you know, because it's not just about taking pictures. You know, you can have an iPhone, you can have a nice camera, true, but there's other things that plays a role in it, like capturing, being able to allow the customer to be able to zoom in on the texture and really view it and see it. You know what I mean?
I like it. I like it. I like it. Like, man, I personally don't have any more questions for you, but I want to say this to you. Keep going. Keep going.
Thank
Keep
you.
going. Keep going. Keep going. Like I said, what you're doing is unique. You have, an opportunity, and you're changing people's lives. Because, like I said, as a person who is, I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead. I'm a sneaker enthusiast. I really love sneakers. Like, there's
Okay.
nothing more that I love about details in a shoe and quality of a shoe. So when I pick up a shoe and I can tell there's been details and the overlays and all the patterns and the leather, the different types of leather, the
Mhm.
soft, the long hair suede, short hair suede, all that stuff
Yeah.
matters. Like, and when you see
Yes.
inside the tongue where somebody is actually like, made in the '90s, like
Hmm.
that stuff, it doesn't happen as much anymore. It's just generic, mass produced feel. And I feel like companies like yours and just to give another company that I'm relevant with is like New Balance. Like if you look at what they do
Okay.
with their trainers and their sneakers, it's the quality and their shoes last. And it lasts
Yeah.
for a long
I
time.
love New Balance and Saucony.
Hmm.
Those are two brands to me that people sleep on, but they go out of their ways to not only make sure that they have quality soles,
Hmm.
but just the manufacturing of their shoes and how they partner with different vendors to put their shoes together as far as where they source their material from. There's really a lot happening on the back end that I don't think a lot of people are don't look into it. But that's another company that pays attention to what, you know. It's not just about let's get these shoes out here. You know what I mean? It's more to it than that. And I love brands like that. Even with them being a footwear company as well, I don't look at I know, and I just want to bring this up because it is something that's on my heart. And you know, you both are African American. You know, that you look to
Yeah.
be. I don't know what your
Yeah. Yeah.
because I could be wrong, so I don't want to be wrong. So I just had to bring that up. But we're in such a pivotal time in history. You know what I mean? Because we're given so we're there's a climate change happening in business, and I think that we try to do business the way we've always been taught to, you know. And what I mean by that is I went to the University of Michigan, and I got a degree in management. And I remember when I was going out to look for employment, and everybody would say, well, you're not good in business because you're not aggressive. You're not going to be, you can't get this position because you're not, you're too soft spoken, you're too this. And I hated that because I would always be like, why is there a stigma that to do business you have to be like this hard nosed, ruthless, you know, I don't give a F, you know,
Yeah.
get rich or die trying. And it's like, you, not only is that a setup for us to fail terribly because we are not in the position, we haven't been doing business long enough as a unit, as a community to have that type of persona. You know what I'm saying? Other nations can do that because they have been doing business for so long that they have a monopoly on it. So it's almost like you are forced to do business with them because who else is offering it to you, so they can kind of do what they want to do. But we are not in that position. For one, most of them are not going to do business with us. That's number one. And we are even hesitant to do business with each other. So you're coming in with this demented mindset of, get rich or die trying, and I'm going to get it by any means and paid in full. And you know what I mean? We just have all these stigmas and coming into trying to interact with business. And it's just like, nobody's taking a step back and saying, wait a minute, we can't operate like this. For one, we don't have the group economics to do that, nor do we have support of other nations to do that. And we don't have a monopoly. We don't have a monopoly at all. And we don't have the resources to even get to a point to have a monopoly on certain industries. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like, kind of going off what you're saying is we do have to, make a change on the perception, but also the actual outworking of what it means and what it looks like for us to be a business. And like one person I can say example, like the way Tari handles his business.
Okay.
Like I've seen him do it personally. I've seen him make decisions. We talk, but he's made decisions not based on money, but on helping people and being about doing things the right way. And like I said, that is sometimes not the perception that is perceived from the media or, people that own business and they do stuff under the table or they're treating people bad. But taking what you said and really applying it and saying, like, how can we better the community, but then also how am I personally going to be part of that change? And I appreciate what you said.
Definitely. I really love what you just said.
You way better with words than me. You see how you summed it up all nicely in the package. I'm long-winded with everything, unfortunately, but yeah, you summed it up perfectly. Like we are in a position to shape this thing. We are literally living in a moment where we are the trailblazers, because never in history has there ever been this many African American or people of color in business. So we we are shaping the future of business, because whether people want to realize it or not, there is a falling of the way things have been. And it started with, the health crisis and all these different things, from the shortages that we're experiencing, from all just these crazy things that we've never seen or experienced in our lifetime. At least I haven't. And we're kind of seeing those. And I don't know if people realize it or not, look at how many companies are shutting down and will never open their doors again. This has happened in history before, and the Gucci's that you're hearing about, the brands that we know, they were at this point that we're at now, where it's a new way of doing things, and they stuck with it, and they kept going and kept going. Now they're the brands who have those monopolies, but they had to put in play the foundation to get to that point. And I'm excited for that, to be a part of that, because I get a lot of people that say, well, how are you competing with, even when I first started, a lot of people was like, you can't start a footwear brand because Nike got a monopoly and this and that, and nobody's going to buy shoes from it. This is the type of stuff people say, you know what I mean? Just being honest. And it's like, you don't even know first of all, those companies are so confused right now just with what's going on in the world. They are looking at brands like smaller brands to say, hey, what are they doing? You know what I mean? Because everything is getting reeled back in, because we're being forced to do everything differently.
True.
So
that's true. And I don't think people think that way. Like,
no,
Gucci was once in this position.
Yeah.
I don't think they really ever even realize that.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I like the way you put that. And people will put a negative. I mean, they'll be so negative, and they'll put all kinds of negative stuff on what you're trying to do. but you just got to overlook and keep going.